Okay, hello grade 8. I'm going to do question 4 of exercise 4.2. Okay, because this was a question that most of you struggled with. So the question said that you needed to complete the table, and this table looked like this. I'm just doing a rough. Okay, so you had your input on top and your output at the bottom. You had 1, which gave you -2. You had 2, which gave you -4. You had 3, which gave you -6. 4, which gave you -8. And they had 5. And they had a blank one. So it's just to show you that they're not carrying on with 5, 6, 7. They put 3 dots here to say that they're going to skip to term 13. And the same with this one. 29 and 58. So basically what they've given you is a table with a pattern, and you had to complete the pattern, but they also wanted for the 13th term, the 29th term, and the 58th term. So if I put in, because this is my input, if I put in 13, what am I going to get out? If I put in 29, what am I going to get out? Okay, so we needed to get some sort of a formula for this. Now, if I write this just as a pattern, so I've got -2, -4, -6, -8. What is the difference between these terms? Now, the normal thing would be to take this one and you minus that one. So let's try that. So we go -4 minus -2. Okay, so I've just taken this term, okay, and I've minused this term. Okay, so this gives me -4 minus times a minus gives you a positive. So plus 2, so this gives you -4 plus 2 gives you -2. Okay, and you can also see that on a timeline, okay, this is 0, -1, -2, -3, -4. If we started at -2 here, to get to -4, we had to -2. So the difference is -2. And the same with -6 and -4. Same with -8 and -6. Okay, so I've got my difference here. So remember I told you to find the formula, you have to have n, so the nth term, so any term we put in, times the difference, so times -2. So now we check, do I need to add anything or minus anything to get to my output? So let me check for number 1. So if I go 1, so if I put in 1, I'm going to have 1 times -2 gives me -2. And that gives my output perfectly. Okay? If I put in 2, so let's say 2 times -2 gives me -4. So that's right. Okay, so this here is my formula. And write that down for you, because now we can figure out the rest. So for 5 is pretty easy. I can just minus 2 here, which gives me -10. The 13th one, now I could go on to 13 and just keep minusing 2, but let me use my formula. So if I put in, okay, if I put in 13, what am I going to get out? So 13 times -2 gives me -26, okay? So let me put that in, -26. If I put in 29, I get 29 times -2 gives me -58. And you can use a calculator for this. So -58. Then the last thing I have to fill in is for the 58th term. So if I put in 58 into my formula, I'm going to get out -116. Okay. Now this one was for A. If I look at B, B is a bit of a higher level question, which required you to analyze it and get a formula just by looking at it. So I'll show you guys now. Just redrawing the table. Okay. This one is very difficult. So like I said, it is a higher level question, but we'll go through it. And the reason why it's a higher level question is because this doesn't have a constant difference. Okay, so if we do look at it, it goes -2, -4, -8, -16. Okay, and we work out the difference. So -4 minus -2, so that gives me -2. -8 minus -4, so if I go -8 minus -4, that gives me -8 plus 4, which gives me -4. So this difference here is -4. And then if you calculate this difference, then that's -8. So do you see we don't have a constant difference? And I think this is where you guys got stuck. Okay, but let me just try and see what could happen. Okay, so I've got -2, -4, -8. So let me just look at this and see what it could be. So I could go, let's see, if you saw, okay, 2, so if I go 1 plus, or, no, that won't work. Okay, so let me see. What could be is that you've got a negative, okay, because my answer needs to be negative. Okay, now it goes 2, 4, 8, 16. So if I've got 2 to the power of 1, that gives me 2. I've got 2 to the power of 2, gives me 4. If I've got 2 to the power of 3, gives me 8. 2 to the power of 4 gives me 16. Okay, so there's a pattern there. And that's why I'm saying if you realize it, then you'll be able to see it. So now after doing this question, you'll be able to do it again. So this will be 2 to the power of whatever my input was in. And my answer was negative. Okay, so just by looking at it, then you can play around and see which formula will work. This is a different formula to what you're used to. That's why I'm saying it's by observation. So seeing that if I take 2 to the power of 2, that gives me 4. 2 to the power of 3 gives me 8. But then my answers are all negative, so I have to put the negative before the bracket to make sure it's negative. Okay, so if I use this formula, then I can do for these next few. So if I've got -2 and I put in 5, okay, 2 to the power of 5 gives me, hold up, okay, it's 32, I think, and that will give me -32. I don't have a calculator with me, so I'm not entirely sure. Okay, and you would do the same for these ones. So if you've got -2 to the power of 10, then you would work out what your output is and you would put it into the table. Okay, this, like I said, this is a difficult one. So as long as you understand that if there isn't a constant difference, then try another formula or see what pattern you can see, because it won't always be a constant difference.